Hey guys, and welcome back to another Sullust Imperial based video. I definitely got a lot of stuff done in this video. I really like some of the stuff that I made in it, which is really cool, and we're slowly getting closer to the end. As per usual, I'll show you guys the new parts that I have to work with today, and then we'll get straight into building. So these are all the parts that I have to work with this week. You'll recognize a bunch of these if you watched last week's episode because I didn't use everything, especially these 2x2 corner pieces. So I got more of those bigger plate pieces, which are for the mountain. Those two guys I'm going to be using right after I finish this first part because those are going to be for the bridge in the middle. I'm not sure if those were there last week, but those are just some 2x4s. Then I got a bunch of black bricks there for working on the back side of the mountain. And then over here I just have some different gray stuff, some 1x4s, 1x2s, 1x1s, and these kind of plate pieces. So I'll be using all those today. So as I was just talking about with those two pieces, I got them specially to go on this part of the base, this bridge across. I was going to make some kind of technical bridge that I talked to you guys about before, but instead I opted to do a more natural looking one. I might change it eventually, but I'm not sure. We'll see. And then I have all these snowtroopers. I only have 5 of them, but I thought because they're working around the lava, it could be like they're building the bridge, so I gave them some shovels. So yeah, we'll see how that looks. So I just placed those plates on top of there. They're not pushed in or anything. There is some gaps there I need to fill out. So this is generally what it'll look like, and then I'll add a little bit of texture to it. So I think I may have went a little bit overboard here. Like I said, at first I wanted the snowtroopers building the bridge, and then I was thinking, well, they're going to need the materials from somewhere. And then I was like, well, how are they going to get them here? They're going to get them here by a speeder. And then I was like, well, how's the speeder going to carry them? It's going to need some kind of trailer, so I built a trailer. So if you take a look at the trailer here, it just attaches to the speeder by that little ball hitch there. So just taking a look at it here at the front, obviously I got that ball hitch. Then I got some vents there. There's a shovel for taking the contents out of the trailer. And then I have a pick there. You'll actually see there's a guy using the pick over there just to flatten down the pathway a little bit. So now taking a look at the side, I have some inverted slopes at the bottom. Then I have this little piece that sticks out. I thought I would give it a little bit more depth. I'm not sure what it's called. It's the same kind of pieces that I've been using on the ladders there. And then obviously in the middle there I have those stud shooters. So I had a couple of different ideas of what I wanted to do for the sides. What I thought I was going to go with is using those pieces to give it a little bit more depth. But because I was mixing the light bluish gray with the dark bluish gray, and I knew I was going to tile the top probably with light bluish gray, I thought that was a good look, and I think it looks pretty good. Moving on to the back, I have some tail lights. I don't know why I added them. It's not like they're really going to need them in Star Wars, but I added them. And then I just have a little ladder there for them to actually get what's in the trailer out. So the contents in the trailer you can actually take out in case I wanted to use it for anything else. So it's a little bit hard to do with one hand, but I loosened it up a little bit, and really it's just this piece that's sitting inside of the trailer. And then in there I've just tiled off the floor so nothing sticks. So I really did not think I was going to actually do all this, but I think it looks really good. This section was a little bit open here. I thought I was going to add some kind of contraption here eventually. I didn't know exactly what, just to fill up the space, but I think that works out pretty well. You also might have picked up on the fact that I've been adding these circular 1x1 studs around the bridge here. I've noticed that it actually makes the ground look a little bit more textured and nicer because they actually look like rocks. So I do have a bunch of those, so I'll probably scatter them around the base eventually. Something that I've been meaning to do for a while, but I haven't actually talked about it, I don't think, is covering this entire like tan colored wall with black construction paper. I feel like it'll look a little bit more immersive and make the whole base look a lot more realistic. So yeah, I'm going to try it. So I've got all my construction paper here. It kind of looks gray compared to how black the Lego pieces are. So if it looks bad, I'll take all of it down, but hopefully it looks good. Okay, so this is what the finished product looks like, and I think it's pretty decent. I thought the fact that the bricks are actually darker and the wall there is lighter would bother me, but I think the contrast looks good. The only thing that kind of bothers me is obviously the lines in between the pages of paper, and then where I've put in the sticky tack. So I just have sticky tack on the other side of there, and I had to push them in. Realistically, like in real life, it doesn't look as predominant as on camera, but I think I'm going to keep it. I did think about doing a time lapse of it, but it was honestly really frustrating to do, especially since the base is built around this lamp. So I could pull out this side so I can able to get in behind there, but as for over here, it's a little bit difficult because I couldn't pull it out as much. So that was a little bit frustrating, so I'm kind of glad I didn't time lapse that. But yeah, so let me know what you guys think down below, and let's get to working on the mountain. So I've built up the wall another layer, and I was going to film a time lapse of it, but I think time lapses, like, obviously they take up time, which is what they do, but I'd rather fill that time with me actually showing you guys stuff that I've worked on in the base rather than taking it up with me building, which you're going to see in the end anyways, if that makes any sense. Like, I might do more of them from time to time, but it would really depend on what I'm doing, so let me know what you guys think in the comments. On another note, I think I'm pretty much finished with the height of the wall. I wanted it taller than here, which is where I got it at now. It'll be a little bit taller because I'll need to cover up just this top bit with pieces. And then I'll want some kind of bit of cover where the rebels can hide behind, so that'll raise it up a little bit more. Let me know what you guys think, but I think this is it. Also, this sounds really stupid, but I only realized today that two of these window pieces are the exact same size as door frames, and I have a million of those window pieces in here that I could have been using, but I didn't. Nobody told me that, but I guess I could have figured it out myself, but whatever. So that's pretty much everything I can do for the mountain for now, so I want to start working on this part of the base again. Essentially what I needed are more of these, I don't even know what they're called, but those plate side pieces. I need another one to go there, another one on that side, and then I need to figure out what I'm doing with this whole like ladder situation, and then I also want to tile the floor. So I'm going to figure some stuff out and I'll come back after. So in hindsight, I definitely think I should have finished this tower earlier. So what I started to do first is I filled in those spots that were missing those tiled pieces on the edges of the wall there. And then I tiled in this whole area. You might recognize this pattern because it's the same pattern that's on the bottom of this base. I also cleaned up how this ladder looks. I think I might add something on that wall just to give it a little bit more detail. It still is pretty smooth and a little bit too smooth, but I made that little machine a while ago. I don't know what it does, but I made it and I thought it looked cool. And there's a spot for it there, so I put it there. And then over here I made that little pin pad just for a code to open up this door. And then this door is no longer just sitting here because there's some studs there which keeps it still. And then inside there I made the ladder a little bit taller, so it makes a little bit more sense. And yeah, that's how the door goes. As for the top part here, I just tiled it off. It has a little bit of texture on the corners there by the door. I think I might change it a little bit more eventually just to make it look a little bit better and stand out a little more. And then I have that control panel I designed there. It's mounted on those sloped pieces there, and then I got the tower. So as for the actual radio tower part, I just have an angled piece there, and then there's a cheese wedge which keeps it still, and then obviously that's mounted at the back there. I also added this little cone piece in the middle, and then I have this little tiny dish there. I didn't used to have that, but I thought it looked better with it, and I think I was right. So if you recognize that piece, that's because I used to have it inside the base here, but I completely robbed it from there. If I don't come up with a better design for that spot, I might just order another one and put it there. Also, I forgot to mention this, but this whole top bit can also come off. It's just holding on by those two studs there. So if I do want to bring a minifigure up there or stick him inside, I can do that easier without having to move this door even, which is really nice. So I just changed a 2x4 light bluish gray piece to some vents. I thought it looked a little bit better. Also, this little antenna kept falling off and I was really confused. But if you look at it, it's like completely illegal. There's no way that's actually going to hold on together, so I'm going to need to change that. So just a super quick fix. I could find a better way to make it look, but really nobody's really going to see this piece in the back, so I think it's pretty good. So as you can see, I made some pretty severe changes to the inside of the base. I also made some changes to the mountain, but I'll show you guys that in a minute. But before I even made what I showed you, I started making like a little lunch room. There's like a little bar in the back, a table. There's also a little water cooler. You'll see a picture of it in a minute, but I ended up taking all of it apart. I didn't like how it looked. I thought it looked too goofy and it didn't really fit the vibe of the whole base. So yeah, I took it all apart. So what I decided to do instead is I completely took it apart and I started building this whole room. I wasn't really sure what I wanted to put in it. I eventually decided that I want it to be like a little conference room like what you see in A New Hope. And then considering this is the first kind of area that you see of the base as soon as you walk into my basement and you look at the whole display I have going on, I want it to look, pretty official, and I think that adding like a little cantina or even like a medical area doesn't really, I don't know, it doesn't have the look to the base that I want it to have, and it's not as like serious, you know what I mean? As you might have noticed, I also made these doors. So these slide in and out. I saw a little design online of somebody making these kinds of sliding doors. They're actually really quite simple. Obviously, these are just bricks. They're mounted sideways. They have these top pieces so you're able to slide them. And yeah, they can slide shut just like that. So I would have kept going, but I did run out of pieces. I even thought about taking apart my Padme's apartment mock. You guys have probably seen that before. I wasn't really ready to take it apart yet, considering it was the first mock that I really made on my TikTok account. And then all I did with the mountain is I just added a little bit more height here. I'm going to need to fill in this area and then throw some plates on top, add some greebling, some, mountain pieces, make it look a little bit rocky, and then throw the rebels on top. Thank you guys so much for watching this video. I was really happy to get the trailer part done and be able to add those snow troopers into the whole area. I didn't even know I was going to make that trailer, but it ended up looking pretty cool. So let me know what you guys think about that in the comment section down below. I was also really happy to get that antenna done on the tower. It was looking kind of lame on the top, and I wanted something, and I hadn't really figured it out until now, so that's really, really nice. And I'm also really happy I got to figure out what I'm going to do with the whole meeting room thing. I didn't really know what to put there. I think I'm actually going to redesign that table. I've been thinking about that a lot recently, so hopefully I'll get that done. I will say that it will be a little while, I think, until the next Imperial base update, so I did make this one a little bit longer just for you guys. But yeah, with that all being said, once again, thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next video.